The state government is about to launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionably the Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new...
The Holy Grail.
This...
The Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
Personal credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over. And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
All you need to do is tap your phone, and that will be a validation that you are real.
Australians from, the kitchen table to the room table would have an increased anxiety following the deluge of data breaches we saw late last year.
But this seeks to take away the risk because companies will never have a copy of your details in the first place. But how can it trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted. And when there's a match, you're good to go. The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year, although you'll run into problems interstate.
More than happy to offer it to other jurisdictions.
Amy Clements, 7 News.
All right, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baharakah Kodash. I'd like to give the honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3. And Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying and exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashem El Shai Baharakah Kodash. And as the title reads, the stages to cause all. Okay. And pretty much I just want to speak, in the spirit, but with wisdom. Okay. And I want to, go into this right here. All right, you're seeing the stages right now taking place, all right, of, Esau's, Edom's plan, which ultimately it's prophecy, okay? But, this is a updated lesson on prophecy, and you're seeing it continue to slowly roll out right before our eyes. And this is showing you exactly how people are going to react, all right, when this prophecy gets fulfilled. Now, of course, there's always going to be pushback. The scriptures speak about uprising of the people. But as you see, the prophecy is being rolled out, all right, in the form of normality, okay? And I just got a few points I just want to make to add with this one. And I also want to tie it in. If you notice, he kept calling it the Holy Grail, okay? I'd like to touch on that as well, all right, which the Bible doesn't speak nothing about a Holy Grail, okay? And in actuality, the Holy Grail would be considered an idol, okay? And that's exactly what the mark is, okay? The MOTB ultimately is a modern day idol. And you see people are what? Worshiping it, okay? They're worshiping it, all right? This is what we got to do. And his miracles got people believing in it, you see? So it's all playing out, But let me read this first. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 22, and it reads, wherefore tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not, but for them which believe. So this lesson is just for the sincere brothers and sisters that believe that the Lord has opened up, that has your mind and spirit geared, okay, and understanding what's going on. So like I said, this is an update because we are aware, but these are the stages. You can see the stages playing out right now. And I want to further that with this as well. So where was it? Let's just put this in. Okay. Right here. So they're calling it my GOV ID. And guess what? Well, somebody could say, well, that's just, that was in Australia, that's in China. Because let me read this too. It says, call it a holy grail, Australia to become the first country since China to digitalize. See, so this is something that they're doing and they're rolling it out. So it's in China and it's working perfectly fine, okay, for years. And then now it's gone where? To Australia. And then look, they can say, well, that they won't have that in Babylon. Well, if you knew just before the whole train happened, okay, just before the whole train thing happened, guess what? This was laid out, okay? This was laid out, all right? So it's all here, okay? It's breadcrumbs. This is how Esau works, okay? Gradualism, all right? This is exactly how it's working. And then that's why in the spirit I started off with that precept, because this is only for the sincere. A demon could jump on someone and say, oh man, that's boring. Oh man, we've been seeing that. That's because you're not in the spirit. The Lord's not allowing you to lock in and say, oh wow, I can see the connection. All right. Or in the spirit, I can see how, look, it went from Moab to Australia to where? The MOTB, the mark of and who's a part of the beast? Babylon, America. Okay, so it's all tying in. But now that I said that, okay, I'm not going to focus too much on that aspect of it because I don't want any issues with this YouTube platform. But what I would like to do is I'd like to talk about this right here. Okay, it says they called it the Holy Grail. Now check this out. Well, let me show you this first. When you put up Grail, okay, when you look up Grail, it's not biblical. Okay, look, Grail, no results. So don't fall for this illusion. All right. The Holy Grail that they talk about is an idol. All right. It's an idol. Okay. And that's what the MOTB is. The MOTB is an idol. So it makes sense that they're calling this technology real quick. Since we're off that, let's go here. Rev 13. It makes sense why they're calling this technology the Holy Grail, because that's what they believed back then, that these idols could perform miracles. Okay. And that's what Esau's been blessed with. He's been blessed with technology to, in the eyes of man, be a miracle, this advancement, right? Revelations 13 and right here, Revelations 13 and 14, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. So these people, they're deceived, okay, by the miracles. This is a miracle. I pray they don't say that I'm saying anything wrong, but biometric, that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Biometric, that's a miracle, okay? Biometric, that's a miracle to man, all right? Because this Babylon has a bubble to where it keeps the technology at a certain level so that when he does release it, people are wooed by it. But understand this, electronic cars came out before gas power cars. See, there's so much that you can say, but you're almost limited with the information because we're in the time of Esau being revealed. So he's just constantly trying to cover up the leaks. Okay. But ultimately, at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to stop this, but we're aware. All right. If you didn't know the technology in Babylon, it really is outdated. It's just he chooses when to bring it out. And then when people get it, they're mind blown. Okay. Something as simple as a cell phone. The cell phone was out. This was before the 60s, But let's keep reading. If I'm not mistaken, I do know the first text message I think they said was 69, things like that. But let's just keep going. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. All right. Miracles, medical. Okay. All right. You brothers know what I'm getting at, you sisters. And it says, which had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. And that wound was the fall of the Roman Empire, which the revival of it has come back in what you know as America today, including what? NATO and the EU, the same infrastructure, the same mindset, ideology, and even the same rulers, But the point I wanted to pull out of this was the miracles. And that's exactly what they want to push to you. And it makes sense why they're referring to this miracle as the Holy Grail, because the Holy Grail is an idol and so is the MOTB. This is why you should not take it. okay? Because it's an idol. It's going to be something that they want you to bow down and reverence to, meaning they're going to surround everyday living around certain requirements. And if you don't have these requirements, then guess what's going to happen? All right, there's going to be a penalty. And that reminds me of in the book of Daniel. Okay, did not everyone at a certain time had to bow down? Didn't everyone have to comply? Okay, didn't everyone have to comply? So this is exactly what's taking place right now, where he's making them comply. All right. Now, real quick, I wanted to look something up. Just came to mind. Just give me a minute. All right, right here. Okay. I want to get this in Daniel, actually. Just give me a minute. I want to see where I can I haven't brought this one out in a while. Okay, so let's just go like this. I got a point to make. I want to make this point. Shadrach. There it is. Let me get this. Let's put didn't bow. See? They didn't bow. All right, right. Let's go to Daniel's 3. Okay, I was right here, so I wanted to read it. Yep. Okay, perfect. Let me read this real quick. I got it in the ERV, but all right, let's check it out. Let's see how they got it. We have the KJV, but let's see. It says Daniel's 3:14. It says, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, is it true that you don't worship my gods? And is it true that you didn't bow down and worship the gold idol I have set up? Is Esau not setting up a new idol? That at the end of the day, that's how you break it. That's how you let it be known. Like when you got some teachers that are not, they're not giving you the understanding when it comes to this. What is this RFID? You know, like what is this? Can we get it? Should we get it? And the answer is no. Whether or not you believe it to be specifically the MOTB, it still should be being told to our people, no, you shouldn't get it because it's going to be pushed as a level of an idol to be worshiped, just like the image to be worshiped. Okay, to be in Babylon to a level, you know, you can skate by, but if you really want to be in Babylon, there has to be some form of worship. You know, a career, military, police, doctor, healthcare. You know, you name it. The level that you have to go through is meaning you have to give your life to this requirements and worship it to be able to be in it. See, and this is where it's heading. It's literally heading there. Okay, it's heading to the point where a new way. All right, a new form, and you're going to have to conform to that, or their penalty will be ultimately what? Death. It says, now, when you hear the sound of the horns, flutes, lyres, sambucus, harps, bagpipes, and all the other musical instruments, you must bow down and worship the gold idol. See, back then, they would construct something, and then you'd go before it. All right. Just like the Holy Grail. It was something that you wanted in your possession because what it could do for you. So now with modern day miracles, what he's going to do is he's going to give you this idol to be in you. See, he wants you to become one with it, which really you're being sacrificed to it. That's ultimately what it is. You will be sacrificed to this idol. Okay. You will be sacrificed to this idol. And it says, if you are ready to worship the idol I have made, that is good. But if you don't worship it, you will be thrown very quickly into a hot furnace. Then no God will be able to save you from my power. Now we know the story of what happened, but this is a great example to show you of where it's going to go. Okay. This is why John saw the prophecy of what we know in Revelations 20:4, because it got to the point of what? Life and death. And this is the same spirit that always comes with these idols. It's a life or death situation. And he wants you to bow down and worship it. And he will threaten you with death if you do not. And let's prove that. All right, let's prove it. He wants you to idolize this. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, over us specifically. And we people, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you. See, did they not feed people to idols? Did they not feed people to idols? Okay. And feed you being idled, meaning you're going to be stationary. You're not going to be able to be going nowhere, moving around. This is why it says some of you will be cast into prison, and feed you being idled with things offered unto idols. What is that idol? MOTB. Why are they calling this miracle idol? They're calling it a holy grail because this is the level he's going to push it on a idolizing manner. Okay, like right now, even money is an idol. Okay, that's why we don't love money. The root of all evil is the love of money. We don't love money, we use it. But people here, like in Babylon, if what proves money is a god, because as long as they have money, they feel like they're okay. All right. Hey, there's times where we don't have money. Okay, this is why Paul said, I know how to abound and abase, because there's times where we're not going to have it all, but we still trust in the Lord. You know, and if you don't have money at certain times, in my faith, I believe that's the Lord, okay, like he did in Deuteronomy, where he said, so we can learn that man doesn't live by bread alone. Well, like now we're learning that we don't live by money alone. You know, we don't live by just food alone. We don't live by money just alone. We live by the Lord. And it's through Yahweh Shem Shai how we'll get through things. And that's the mindset you need to have with what's coming ahead, because majority of the people are going to carnally need something to feel secure. That's what makes it an idol. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to give you something that he wants you to idolize to live. See? So it makes sense why they're calling it a holy grail. Now, look, it says, let's go down. It says a grail, wondrous, but not unequivocally holy, first appears in Percival, the story of the grail. A unfurnished chivalric romance written, right, blah, 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 nothing to do with the scriptures right here. See, in the late 12th century, Robert de Boron and Joseph Armatia portrayed the grail as Jesus's vessel. See, someone portrayed this cup as this this magical, see, this miraculous. It's an idol. It's just an idol, man. Okay, it's just an idol. It says from the Last Supper, which Joseph of Arimathea used to catch Christ's blood at the crucifixion. None of that's biblical. Thereafter, the Holy Grail became interwoven in with the legend of the Holy Chalice. See, so this is a mythological, okay, man-made, all right, thing that people wondered after and wanted because they believed that it had special powers. All right, like right here it says, various traditions describe the Holy Grail as a cup, dish, or stone with miraculous healing powers. Revelation 13. It makes sense why in the spirit they're referring to this technology as the Holy Grail, because that's what this technology is being brought to, a level of worship. Meaning if you don't have it, and that's what Babylon is. Babylon has been set up to be an idol. Babylon is a god, okay? Now we know Esau's the god of this world, but let's be frank here. Babylon itself is treated as a god or godlike, meaning if you don't have the standard of Babylon, then you ain't in God's presence, right? The money, the laws, all these things are idolized here, okay? Everything here is idolized. It says with miraculous healing powers, sometimes providing eternal youth or substance in infinite abundance, often guarded in the custody of the Fisher King, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, idolized. That's all it is. And this is nothing new, but this is a prophecy we're getting ready for, where there's going to be a new idol that's being going to be pushed. Now, people are taking it, and it's life right now. But what the warning is going out is how there will come a point. All right, Rev 3, there's going to come a point where you're going to have to make a conscious decision, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, either to bow and allow you to be fed to this idol, or to deny it and to die for Yahweh Shem Shai. This is Revelations 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. See, because the technology's here, the miracles are showing forth, the servitude to it, but it's not on a level to cause yet. Okay, that's what we're waiting on, the forcing. All right, where he's forcing. So we're seeing the stages. They're trying it out with Moab. They've already said that China's doing a very good job at this. Okay, now they're bringing it out in Australia. There are certain situations happen, and now they say here in Ohio. You see, so when you look at it, you can see how it's inching closer and closer to where now it's in Babylon. That's a time we're in. Okay, it could start in certain states. All right, where certain states pass legislation, and the citizens in the states, they're going to have to get a certain government issued app, and then because they're going to need to receive what benefits. So there's things he's going to require you to do. Okay, and you can see it. And it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. You could have certain states doing it and then other states not, which that will be what division, things of that nature. And then a man shall desire going to a city, but he can't. You're gonna have to have this. So you can see how this prophecy is gonna play out, and it's gonna play out as a new standard, a new form. But what we know it to be is what? An idol. But man doesn't see that. Man doesn't see what we can see, because he's what? Thrown the Bible away. He's already thrown it away. So there's no need for you to, feel like, oh, is this good and evil? Is it? See? But we are aware of these things. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And that's what's happening. Esau wants your crown taken. Okay? He wants your crown taken. And the biggest thing that's on my spirit to let it be known is how this prophecy that we're warning, all right, about is ultimately this mark is what? It's an idol. So he said, well, what is it's an idol, man? Okay, it's an idol. He wants you to worship it like he wants you to worship Babylon. Oh, going back, didn't it say that they all that don't worship? I'll end it there. I just want to do a quick lesson. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but hey, this is prophecy. Rev 13, check this out. Check this out. Look, right here, 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship. See? So his whole rulership is for you to worship him. Esau's whole MO is for him to be worshiped, for you to bow down and serve him. Why do you think police have that spirit on them? Okay, the America. Why do you think America is telling foreign countries to do this? They want the world to worship them. All right. Now let me give you the blue letter for the word worship, and that'll be the lesson, I believe. So let's go to Rev 13. Check this out. Well, not the word worship, but the word kill. That's what I wanted. Rev 13 and 15. But since I said that, let's actually look that up real quick. Let's see what worship means. Okay. What do you go to when you go to church? What do you do? Oh, I'm going to worship. Go to worship, to kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. Right. Look, to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with the forehead as an expression of profound reverence. So it's spiritual. It's very spiritual because it says in thy right hand and thy forehead. Well, those are how you also would reverence a God. You put, so he is having you reverence him by instead of you putting your head to the ground, put this idol in your head. You see, let me implant you. You see, so he wants you to be fully become one. All right. He wants to brand you to show your worship. Now that I said that, okay, let's go back. Now let's look up this word kill. Okay, it says to worship the image of the beast. If they don't worship the image of the beast, they should be killed. What does this word killed mean then? Okay, because we know literally, right? Now look, to kill in any way, right? Or look, abolish. Check this out. Look at the etymology for the word kill. Of separation, meaning if you don't worship, then I will separate you from society and the rest of my worshipers. You will need to leave this congregation if you are not worshiping our God. That's what he's showing. That's what he's telling. That's what he's doing. And he did that with the jump shot first. Did he not? You got separated from the diner if you didn't have it. Okay. This is why people were bringing out civil rights, because he's doing this all over again, but to everybody. Okay, remember how he segregated? He's doing it again, but to everybody. This is the time we're coming into. When it starts rolling out, we will be the outcasts of society. Because look, of local separation, right? Of motion from a place, departing, where he can separate you. He can kick you out. They have the right to deny service. That's an actual thing. We have a right. Businesses, it says we have a right to deny service. See, this is an actual thing. What you need to know about your right to refuse service. Does your business have the right to refuse? Yes, they do. And this is the spirit that they're going to be in. Okay. We have a right to reserve service to anyone for any reason. And guess what the reason is going to be? You not bowing down and worshiping this idol. And what is the idol? The MOTB. And you can see they are ready. She's fully ready. See? They are ready. So I just wanted to do a lesson on that. It was on my spirit to really push more about the idolization, all right, of the mark, because I know we always talk about the mark and always bring it out, but you need to understand as an Israelite that this is a new form of an idol in captivity that they are going to force us to worship, and we are to say la'ah, we are to say no, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, just like Daniel, the 3rd chapter, okay? So we're seeing it play out, but this is a last major prophecy before our deliverance. So it does need to happen. All right. This does need to happen, but you can see the stages to cause all taking place. All right. Follow the breadcrumbs. You see in Australia, China, Ohio, it's all happening. Oh, 3 Square Market. Okay. It's all happening. Okay. So continue to watch, continue to pray. Continue to pray to Yahweh Shem Shai to stay in the spirit, because a lot of people are going to fold. They're going to fold and comply and bow down. You see? So I'm going to just leave it there. I pray that you were edified and exhorted in the spirit as I was. And I just want to say, call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach, and double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that do well. With that being said, Shalom.